on to Cameroon. The last few weeks have been horrible for the people of southern Cameroon as President Paul Biya launched full attack on the English-speaking part of the country. First of all, keep in mind that during the First World War, Britain and France divided Cameroon, and this tore so many families apart. Before then, Germany was the one that was colonizing them, so they've been through a lot. Germany colonized them, and then Britain and also France. They were one country before this division. So northern Cameroon, that is the French-speaking part of the country, was colonized by France, and it became independent in 1960. And then southern Cameroon, which is the English-speaking part of the country, also the Anglophone part of Cameroon, was colonized by the British. And when other countries were getting their independence, they didn't let them stand as a country. They said they were too small. Instead, they called them the United Kingdom Trust Territory. They gave them the option of either joining Nigeria because Nigeria speaks English, or reuniting with northern Cameroon because they used to be one. So some of them actually joined Nigeria. So some part of northern Nigeria used to be Cameroon. But the place we now know today as southern Cameroon decided that they wanted to reunite with their relatives in the north. So they decided to be part of Cameroon in what is now known as Cameroon's Unification Day. In fact, every year they celebrate this Reunification Day. So it's like two countries coming together, reunifying to be one. Now, they had an agreement that while they have a federal government, they will still be autonomous. Like Canada, you know, in Canada, we have some part of the country like Quebec speaking French and one part speaks English. They are both autonomous, yet they are together. This is Canada. So this is the same thing that Cameroon decided to do. So southern Cameroon and northern Cameroon decided to become one country with two separate government systems in July of 1961, the Forbam Conference. You can read more about that. And one of the agreements at the time is that southern Cameroon would retain its British institutions, such as using English in education, judiciary, and legislature. And do you know that several countries actually applauded southern Cameroon at that time for reuniting with their old country? Unfortunately, the party did not last long. That same year that they signed that agreement, the president at that time, Ahidjo, he reorganized the country from two federal states to becoming a 6-region country, and then he imposed what he called federal inspectors in each region, giving them more power than the locally elected politicians from those regions. And then by 1965, this president banned opposition parties completely. Not only that, he discarded the currency in the English-speaking part of Cameroon. And by 1971, can you guys believe that he abolished federalism altogether? And then when Paul Biya became president, he promised that he would stop the marginalization and that southern Camerooners would be treated equal. But as you guys can see today, Paul Biya actually made it worse. And of course, with the backing of France, the man is now forcefully recolonizing the English-speaking part of Cameroon through what we call mandatory assimilation. So for years now, the federal government of Cameroon would only send French-trained and French-speaking officials to go and run the schools in southern Cameroon, as well as run the cities and run the judiciary. So he sent these people to the English-speaking part of Cameroon. I mean, how can you learn anything if your teacher only speaks French and you speak English, unless you now become a French speaker? You see what I'm saying?
It's a private school, and their teachers are on strike in solidarity with colleagues in public schools. They want the government to stop sending teachers who only speak in French or pidgin English. Many students and parents support the striking teachers.
How can you take matters to court when the judge only speaks French? In fact, how can the English-trained lawyers operate under a French-trained judge and a French-speaking judge?
Lawyers are also on strike. Like teachers, they say the government is sending to their courts French civil law judges who don't understand English common law.
Keep in mind that English law is completely different from French law. So southern Cameroonians decided that they are no longer reuniting with Cameroon, that they wanted to be on their own as they were before they decided to reunite with northern Cameroon. But of course, each time this matter comes up, Paul Biya would try to silence them by sending the police to kill some of them. And so each time he would kill some of them, and he would hope that people would shut up. For the last 1 year now, the people of southern Cameroon have refused to stop their protest. I've showed you guys videos of how Paul Biya sent police to beat up lawyers who protested.
Another lawyer is hijacked publicly. These other lawyers say they have been chased out of their hotel rooms and all their properties seized, including their wheat.
Very sad. Can you you imagine? Also, when students protested, I've showed you guys videos of how Paul Biya sent police in the daylight to beat them up. So many of them were arrested as well.
You pussy, are you pussy what they're doing is university students in Boya?
That's really sad. And this has been going on for more than a year. So many activists in the South that have spoken up have also been arrested. It's not just students or lawyers or teachers that have been arrested. So many activists have been arrested. And of course, he shut down the internet in southern Cameroon every so often so that the world would not know about the atrocities going on there. But on October 1st of this year, because they announced that they are no longer reuniting with Cameroon, officials are saying that about 10 people were killed. Amnesty International said at least 17 people were killed, but southern Cameroonians are saying that many more were killed on October 1st.
In Cameroon, there are fears that as many as 30 people have been killed in protests in English-speaking parts of the country. Amnesty International has confirmed 17 people were shot dead. Independent sources put the figure at 30.
Look, you see innocent neighbors have been abducted from their houses. Look at what they are doing to the girls. Those are my neighbors.
They don't forget to
see what they are doing? You see what they are doing? See what they are doing to Cameroonians?
Right now, the government of Cameroon has declared the Anglophone protesters, the English-speaking protesters, as terrorists. So that justifies the police killing them. This is a mother that just lost her son. According to the mom, he wasn't even part of the protest.
When my pikin, it's also, they want struggle for run. They should not run for your back food. That pikin did for that. I can't meet up for that. So I want to blood to come up for my pikin like that when they open them.
So what I don't understand right now is why a lot of people in northern Cameroon are silent while he's killing people in southern Cameroon, shutting down their internet so that the world would not know about what's happening there. How can you be quiet? Especially since a lot of people have fled from southern Cameroon to northern Cameroon. So you can't tell me that you don't know what is happening in southern Cameroon. Especially because even you in northern part of Cameroon, you are not free. One man has been your president since 1982, 35 years, and the whole country is not trying to get rid of him. Are you kidding me? 35 years? Obviously, the man is not going to step down anytime. Before this whole protest started, a lot of Cameroonians would say, and at least there is peace in Cameroon. Shoo! Now there is no peace. There has not been peace for more than a year. When will you stand up to fight for what is right? Because the people of southern Cameroon are minorities, only about 20%. If you turn the other eye just because the southerners are not French speakers, when the man is done with them, he will have nobody else to bounce on but you. And I don't think that other African countries should leave Cameroon to this struggle. Not just Cameroon, but Togo as well, with all the protests that is happening in Togo. Other countries need to help as well. Of course, our sincere condolences to all those that have lost their loved ones. We'll keep you guys posted on the developments in Cameroon. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real.